So this is the second video in our topic about spirit guides, and today we're going to talk about ancestors. I love working with ancestors, and ancestors are really wonderful. When I do readings, especially in a group, or I have new people come in who it's their first time getting a reading, some of the first people to come through are loved ones who are crossed in ancestors. And ancestors can play a wide range of roles when advising you. And so it's really good to have a good understanding of who the ancestor is and what they're trying to say and what they're trying to do. So ancestors, some are ancestors that we know, and some are very, very old ancestors, ancient ones that we don't know. And so when you talk about working with ancestors, if you had a special parent, like you loved your mother and she's gone, or you had an amazing grandmother, or a very kind and wonderful aunt you had a very special connection to, or grandfather or something like that, very often, particularly for people who are just starting out, just learning about their intuition, they will feel the presence of an ancestor around them, a beloved relative who is gone. And very often, depending on how far you like to take the development of your intuition, an ancestor can come in and play a role very similar to a spirit guide. They can advise you, they can give you information. I've known psychics and readers who just talk to their ancestors. A lot of women that I know, they talk directly to their grandmother, and their grandmother gives them information and advises them and works as a spiritual counselor from the etheric plane, from the other side. I think working with the ancestors can have multiple benefits. Sometimes not all ancestors are amazing, just like not all spirits are amazing. If you had a really abusive or mean or nasty ancestor, chances are if they've crossed over, they haven't really improved much. If they come to you trying to tell you what to do, you have to sort of ask them and tell them if they're not of the light, they have to go away. I've had people not want to work with certain ancestors because of the legacy of what they left behind. So you really want to work with ancestors who are of the light and are coming from the right place and who are there to help you. And when you're just starting out, as many of you are, working with a spirit guide or someone that you know is much more comfortable than working with some sort of being that you're not familiar with in the etheric. And so you can really get a lot of help, and you can employ your ancestor, if that's the job that they're meant to do after they've crossed over, to help you and guide you, then that's it. I think working with ancestors, you can even go deeper into working with ancestors, and I think depending on what culture you come from, it's a little bit more acceptable. I find that people from backgrounds from Asia or native backgrounds or from African descent, they have a much stronger relationship with their ancestors. People from European descent, they're learning to be more in touch and more aligned and more together with their ancestors. So I always really like to encourage a stronger relationship with the ancestors. For example, I have a grandfather. I didn't know him when he was alive. He died before I was born, but he's really come to me and helped me with my work and my business, because that's what he did and that's the information that he has, and he's wanting to help me be successful, and he's sort of in a way trying to make up for what he didn't do when he was alive. I have a grandmother from my father's side who, she passed away when I was 1, but she's so loving. And when she first started coming to me, she never talked, and I'm a talker. I use my voice a lot when I'm communicating with the spirits, but she taught me, she would just give me messages through feelings and emotions. So she taught me to use my empathic sense, my feelings as being messages from spirit. And so there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize and work with your ancestors to help you develop psychic ability, if that's what you want to do. If you're just looking for them to be around you and comfort you and let you know that they're there, they're more than happy to do that. The ancestors love that. I tell people all the time in readings, it's like, oh my God, you're surrounded by so many loved ones. So just keep that in mind as you start to work with spirits. Always go for who you feel comfortable. And if ancestors and relatives and people that you know are the ones that are there for you, even if they're 5 generations back and you are familiar with them but you never knew them, they're still there for you. Sometimes we have step ancestors or ancestors by marriage help us. You know, it doesn't have to be a blood relative. Just keep that in mind as well. So thanks. I'm Beth Ann Kennedy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. You can follow me at pinkhearthealing.com on all forms of social media. Sign up for my newsletter. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video in the series where we keep talking about spirit guides. Thanks and have a wonderful day.